International student, why do you keep making this mistake? I mean, I've had a lot of DMs, emails, and the stories I hear, I'm like, what is going on? This is why I have to make this video. Though I didn't move to the UK on a student visa, so I can't really relate to a lot of them. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to be mentioning some points and like some mistakes I feel like international students are making, and I would like to know your thoughts on this. Like, why do you make these mistakes? Like, why do you choose to do this when coming to the UK, when you get to the UK? First point is the choice of course. So somebody sent a DM telling me, Faith, I'm coming to the UK to study fashion design. I'm like, why? Okay, first, formally, when the UK was part of the European Union, then if you're coming from the EU, then you don't really need visa, so you can study any course. But if you're coming from Africa and you need visa to stay back after you study, why would you go for a course that has no relevance in the country? So before you come to the UK as an international student, please, can you do your due diligence, research the course that is in demand in terms of work. Do a course that after you finish your study, it can be easier for you to land a job with sponsorship. A lot of you come to the UK, study courses that are not in demand, and end up with care work. Like, this is one of the reasons choosing the wrong course. So before you come to the UK, please do your research. What are the occupations that are in demand in the UK? What are the occupations that there are jobs opportunities in the UK with sponsorship? You need to do that research. Second one I see is moving with family. I mean, you guys, look, accommodation in the UK is not that easy to get. Recently, there have been like housing crisis in the UK, especially for students, because most landlords would not want to rent their houses to students. Most landlords want to rent their houses to workers. Even if you're a worker, there's a salary threshold. Most landlords would prefer to give their houses to someone who is working. So now, you that you're a student, you're not coming with large families. Some of you come with 3 kids, 2 kids, and you're like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not saying do not come with your children, but I mean, it's going to be stressful. I always say this to everybody that has spoken to me. I've spoken to a lot of students back home in Nigeria who want to move to the UK with their family. I keep telling them, do not do it. I know a lot of people don't believe in this. Some people are like, no, I can't leave my children. I understand the whole risk, but it doesn't make any sense coming here with the whole of your family struggling to get accommodation, struggling to survive. Again, you can't even work, especially if those of you who are like the main dependents. So some people migrate with their family, and the men are like the main students, like the applicants. The main students. So they are restricted to 20 hours. And some of them, unfortunately, maybe your wife does not even have a career back home, or she's not a graduate. There are no potentials of her being able to land a sponsorship job. You're coming on a student visa. I would say that the person that has the opportunity to be able to land sponsorship job should not be the main applicant. Okay, let me give you an example now. Let's take you and your wife. Maybe your wife has been working in Nigeria and maybe as an accountant, and she has a lot of experience, and you know that when she comes to the UK, based on her experience, she can easily get a job. She shouldn't be the one on the student visa. You should be the one. The man should be the one. And if it's a man that has experience and qualification, work experience, then the man shouldn't be the main applicant. So you guys need to plan this. Be like, okay, so you want to come via the study route. Who has the higher chances of landing job with sponsorship? That person should not be the applicant, please. It is better to come with your spouse first and settle down, get a job, get a house, accommodation before you bring your kids. I know people who have been living in Airbnb for months. Do you know how expensive that is? Because no landlord will want to rent their house to them plus their children. If it's just the two of you, you and your wife, or you and your husband, it is easier for you to get a house. But the moment the kids are there and you are on a student visa, landlords will not want to rent their house. So a lot of international students reach out to me, Faye, do you know any landlord? We've been living in Airbnb. They are even like, we need an accommodation. I'm like, if it was just the two of you, you guys would have found a way, but you are here with kids. Even workers, that I'm working, that have just one child, landlords still they still complain. Some landlords will be like, they don't rent their house to family with kids under 5, except maybe bigger kids. And so that restrictions is there, and you're not bringing your family. I want to understand, why do you do that? I know you want your family with you, but honestly, you're going to struggle. I need to know why you come to the UK with the whole of your family on a student visa, and sometimes the main applicant is the one with the work experience that can get a job. Why won't you then make your partner to come on the student visa, so you as the person with the experience can get sponsorship job or something? The third one is, when you get to the UK, not obeying the rules. Got a message. All these things I'm saying is from messages I've been getting from international students, and that's why I'm sharing this, so you don't even make that mistake. And those of you that are doing this, I want to understand, why do you do it? I got a message from one international student. He said that, Faith, help me. I know a friend of mine is being asked to leave the UK because the Home Office discovered that the proof of funds was not legit. Okay. I mean, I don't know what to say. This is a public platform. I don't really know what to say, but I'm just going to say, like, you need to be careful. It's not like it was before. So please make sure you have your own money, your own proof of funds. Do not make this mistake. They were given 14 days to leave the UK, and the person was already done paying their school fees. Can you see that? I mean, they fully paid their school fees, but because they discovered that the proof of funds they used earlier was bad, they asked them to leave. One thing about the UK is that it might take them years to figure something out, but once they figure it out, they are still going to take the action. They are not going to understand that, oh, you've paid your school fees, so okay, we can let it slide. No. Even if it takes them 2 years to figure out what you did was wrong, they are still going to ask you to leave the country. So do not even do it. Imagine after paying a whole sum of money, completing your school fees, and you're being asked to leave. When the person asked me what can the person, I said, I don't know. You need to get an immigration lawyer. At this point, you need a lawyer. You need a professional lawyer. And I sent the person a lawyer that I know the detail, like, contact this lawyer, and she's good. I mean, you need a very good lawyer to like fight the case, and not just any lawyer, not YouTube lawyers. I mean, licensed immigration lawyer. And I've not heard back from the person though. You know, I get a lot of messages and calls. I can't keep up. So yeah, I just hope it's sorted for them. And I mean, I hope everything is fixed for them. The fourth one is not applying for post-study visa. So there was an event that happened in my office, which is a recruitment event, which I shared on my social media platform. Like, if you're looking for a job and you're already in the UK, come for this event. And I met a lot of students who came for the event. I mean, it was great. I met like 7 people from Instagram came for that event, and I had a conversation with them. Some of them even had like a meeting with my HR. I mean, looking for a job. And I'm just praying, keeping my finger crossed that at least they get a job or they get called back. And I'm still in touch with some of them, not all of them. I'm still in touch with some of them, and the feedback I'm getting so far from their recruitment process is good. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Like, I hope they get the job. So I met some of them, and I met this very wonderful lady. She said that she's after she finished her study, I mean, she didn't go for the postgraduate visa because it does not count towards getting ILR in the UK. So most students, what they do, they try to look for sponsorship jobs immediately they are graduating, so that they can switch to sponsorship job. It is a mistake, and it is good. If you're lucky, it is good for you. But if you're not lucky, you're going to be in this situation this lady is, because right now she is a very experienced. She has a particular occupation that she's very good at back home before she came to the UK. But because care work is always giving sponsorship, I mean, anywhere you go, it's a care job. tier 4 student apply. I mean, care homes are like recruiting a lot of students and giving them sponsorship. So a lot of students feel like, this one is the fastest way, and they jump into it, getting 5 years work visa with sponsorship. But she doesn't love the job. Being a carer is not a day job. It is physically, mentally, emotionally draining. It is not just, when you're doing a job. When I was working in Amazon, it was just physically. Nobody is stressing me or insulting me or anything, making me feel or calling me black monkey or all of those things. It was just physically draining. I know that when I get home, body pain and all of that. Then when I was working my other customer service role, it was emotionally and mentally, because that's when they started, the insult and all. But it wasn't physically draining because I'm at home, always in my pajamas. I don't go to the office, it's work from home. Now where I am, I love it, basically. So what I'm saying is, care work is a combination of everything, mentally, physically, emotionally draining. So if you don't really have passion to be a carer, if this is not something that you see yourself doing in a long time, if it's not your career path, trust me, you cannot last for 5 years on a sponsorship. So, she was on a sponsorship, but she's hoping to, switch career, which is good because good thing about the UK, you can switch career. If she had her post-study visa, she could have tried the care work without sponsorship. Just tell them she wants to do the job and see if it's something she can do. If it's not something she can do, she can easily leave. But now she doesn't have post-study visa. She's already on a skilled work visa sponsorship. So she's tied to the employer. She cannot leave even if the job is not what she wants. So she's stuck. So I would say that if you're an international student, please, if you're not lucky to find a job with sponsorship in the area of your interest, something you like, your occupation, I would say take the post-study visa. Try these companies first before you can look for companies with sponsorship. Some companies would say that they can offer you sponsorship, but you need to work with them for at least 6 months. You can take that. Some companies offer that. I know someone who is doing that currently, or a student who is doing that currently. So the company promised to offer her sponsorship, but she needs to work in the company for at least 6 months, and she's doing that. I know a dependent who works in a company. Her husband was the student, she was the worker. She took a job without sponsorship, but she explained her situation to the company, and this company are licensed, so they offered her sponsorship after the husband was done with his study. So don't be in a hurry to go for sponsorship jobs, because you are tied to your employer. It is not scale-up visa that you're not tied to your employer. This one, you are tied to them for 5 years. So trust me, you would want to you want to do a job that you love, a job that you want to do for the next 5 years. I would like to know, student, why do you rush to go for sponsorship jobs, especially in care homes? Most of you just take care jobs with sponsorship because I know most of you don't even have passion for care, but because care is always giving sponsorship, you guys just go into it. Why do you do that? The last and final one is those of you who fail your courses. I really do not know the implication of failing your course in the UK, but some people spend a whole lot of money, £13,000 to come and study and fail. I'm not saying those people that fail are not smart. They are smart, just that most of them, when they come here to study, you're focused on doing jobs, looking for money to pay up your school fees. So you're stressed out, you're not reading, you're not focusing on what brought you to the UK. I don't know if you fail your course, if the UK is going to give you a post-study visa, because I don't know, you failed it. Are they going to give you a post-study visa? So students in the UK watching this, please, can you answer in the comment section? For if you fail your course in the UK, will they give you post-study visa? There are so many mistakes that international student makes, but this is the list. This is my own personal list, and I'm sure there are lots of other mistakes international students make. So if you're an international student in the UK watching this, some of you have a lot of experiences to share. Tell me other mistakes that I did not mention in this video that international students make when they come to the UK, so that those who are back home, who are in their home country planning to come to the UK to study, will learn from these mistakes and not make them when they get here. So I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. Like everything I just mentioned, why do international students do this? Like, I want to understand. This is not me advising you or telling you don't do this. I just want to understand why you do it. So it's just like a question throw back at you. I would like to know. Leave a comment down below. And guys, we have come to the end of this video. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.